What's up, family? I'm just kind of waking up, so the voice is a little gravelly or whatever, but I was supposed to do a read last night. Didn't happen, but oh well. So let's go ahead and create our personalized deck for this gathering collective read. Yeah, like my Land Before Time Kulak situation I got going on is giving inner child realness. You could let you see. I got dinosaurs. It's giving inner child realness. You feel me? You gotta let him or her, or him and her, because your inner child has a masculine and feminine energy too. You know what I'm saying? Just saw Queen of Queens. Queens let themselves live, okay? Do the things that they need done. Irregardless, and yes, I like to say irregardless. I know it don't make sense grammarly or grammatically for a lot of people, but the dictionary says you can use that when in informal spaces. So considering this is not a business interview or anything like that, considering Queen of Queens, I'm an empress, I can create the rules. Then that's what we doing. So let's just clear any negative energies, negative entities. Ashe. Like another little a reader that I really like. She said, we're gonna, I think it's Empress T4444, something like that. We command any evil eye to go blind, okay? And any monitoring spirit to go deaf. Divine forces of unconditional love, light, peace, wealth, health, prosperity, and everything good, lovely, and wonderful. What does the collective need to know for their highest good at this time? Please give us clear and accurate messages. Please and thank you. Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at my little cat ears. I pulled them out because one day I was gonna put it together with an outfit, but your girl is at that age where it's like, okay, we make plans to go out, but if the other person called to cancel, we like, yes. And the night that I was gonna wear those, or was thinking about it, I probably was gonna wear them. The plans got canceled, immediately back in my robe, okay? The over 30, over 35, 40-ish girlies know what I'm talking about. But anyway, these two cards fell out. I'm not going to take them and put them back in, but they fell out. Let's see what they're talking about. Period. Now, Queen of Queens energy, okay? It says now you feel worthy of your birthright. Before, probably we didn't feel worthy of our birthright. Previous reads spoke about the fact that your worth is untouched by opinion. Okay, before we allowed opinions, people's opinions of us, and their lack of understanding of us dictate our view of ourselves. We allow those energies to penetrate our core values and what we feel at the core about ourselves. But now, period. Look, it's this other card. It says, you became wise, softer, and stronger versus bitter, angry, and regretful. You became wise, softer, and stronger versus bitter, angry, and regretful. Baby, I said we weren't gonna take these. Look, like I said, now you're feeling better. You're feeling worthy of your birthright. This is giving the energy that we just went through something. I'm gonna keep these out. Here because we might need that reminder a little bit later on. Okay, so I'm gonna keep those out here, but I'm loving this. I'm loving it. On some McDonald's ass shit. I'm loving that energy. I'm loving that message. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me? I'm talking about, you feel me? The weapons are forming, but as we all know, they're not going to prosper. Okay? The weapons have been forming, and we've been fighting them motherfuckers. And in us fighting those and overcoming, having to go into solitude for a minute, we became softer. We didn't allow it to break us or to taint our innocence. Taint our innocence with the inner child. We didn't allow it to trigger our inner child. You're either going to allow pain to poison you or purify you. And we chose the latter, okay? The pain purified us and purifies us. Okay, bottom of the deck. Wow. Spirit says detach, okay? It's already unfolding is what I'm looking at right now. It says, at this time, we need detached clarity that is untainted by emotionalism. It's always available. If any moment in a situation where maybe there may be a really close relationship that you're having to release or whatever it is, ask your spirit guides to give you a detached clarity that is untainted by emotionalism. Allow that to be your request. Or just call forth that energy within you. If it's something because it's always available, you can call it forth. If you exercise that muscle enough, you know what I'm saying, it can become stronger. So this is the bottom of the deck card. So this is what Spirit is saying that we need to have, because those people from the past may be trying to come back up, and you need to have detached clarity that is untainted by emotionalism, because that is what they're going to feed off of. Again, a reading that I was watching yesterday brought up some really great points in the fact that we need to not look at the person, but look at the energy, the entity that is showing up repeatedly through different avatars. Because we got to give a little bit of grace, because we've all been used by said entity at one point. It's just we, the chosen, chose. Remember, the chosen is not, oh, well, you got this skin color, you this, that, and the third, so you're chosen. No, you need to show yourself to be approved, right? And so you chose the narrow path versus just going along with what everybody else is doing. I feel like my neck want to pop. I've been really liking the tea light vibes, and definitely the realist oracle vibes. I've been liking her as well. So we're going to put the guidebook over to the Sis Naeem. I think we can go ahead and pull out let's get a few of these cards I bought a shelf. I need to put it together. I'm just hoping it's not too thick to where it's taking up too much room, you know. Might as well take that. Bottom of the deck. Boss up. And this is exactly what a boss has to do. If you're dealing with a lot of people, you can't allow your emotions to guide you, or to you can't use your emotions to make a lot of decisions when it comes to being a boss. You're working with a lot of employees that may have, these employees may have entities on them too. You know what I'm saying? May lie to try to kick it. They may be lying to kick it. Lying to try to get over on you. So we have sit by water or sit in water. So you may want to take a spiritual bath. I'm going to go sit by some water today. It says you get to speak life into your inner child. Oh, we already spoke about our inner child. And so now you get to speak life into your inner child to help her to heal. And that's the reason why you're now feeling worthy of your birthright, because I do feel like you have balanced your inner child and have worked through a lot of the trauma that that your inner child may have been holding for some time now. And it says it really is that simple. Encourage your inner child to be weird, celebrate her weirdness and quirkiness, okay? Look here, don't let them shame you for being pretty. You had probably had some bullies that bullied you because you were a cute little girl and all of the boys liked you, and you probably none the wiser of what you looked like or how, certain boys looked at you. You were just being yourself, because as children, we're not too worried about that. I know I wasn't, but I did. There were a lot of, fast little girls that was looking at boys, and perhaps they were looking at me. I do remember one situation like that. But we have here, projections are backfiring. You know what I'm saying? So those little girls that were hating on you for just being you, they were projecting jealousy, envy, all of those negative energies and entities, trying to project that onto you, and was bullying you. But you probably didn't have anyone to look up to, anyone to support you in that. But we have this card here. It says, not having an example is the example. Be the change. Be the example. So now you are being that for your inner child. You're speaking life into your inner child. Okay? So a lot of these people who have been, that you have to use this energy with, to be detached, because you may be an empath. You know what I'm saying? And it's 10 times harder for an empath to release a relationship, because we're so loving and want to hold on to people. We want to try to heal them. We want to try to show them the way, but we're having to release them. And that's really, really tough, really, really hard, because we know at the end of the day, it's a culmination of a lot of things that they're dealing with as to why they can't see you, why they can't love you. It's really not 100% their fault. And we're all going through shit, just like I was saying before. We've all experienced, have been used by these entities that of lower vibrational energy. We all have been used by them until we get to the point where we grow and we learn and we become conscious. We start knowing thyself, learning thyself, and all of the things. But Spirit wants you to know that karma isn't punishment, but it is necessary for rebalancing, right? So you may have some people around you that are going through this, and they may come in with an authentic apology, which will vindicate you, which will vindicate your inner child. But it also says here, moving forward without them still. Because they can apologize, but there's still there's still time that they need to sit in this energy, to rest in this energy, and to go. I mean, there's still spiritual work that they need to do. So, but in the meantime, you're vindicated, you're liberated, and you're free. You know what I'm saying? And so while they're going through their spiritual journey, their dark night of the soul, they can apologize and all of the things, you be vindicated, but they still have to go through their dark night of the soul, and you have to understand and know that you can't step in, and that karma isn't punishment, but it is just it's a rebalancing. Okay? So we have stopped making excuses for her. So you may be dealing with a feminine energy, whether it's a sibling, mother, aunt, friend, a lover, or whatever. But Spirit says just stay quiet and know that everything that you need to know is going to come to you. You are magnetizing the truth. You know what I'm saying? It is being revealed. Snitching on themselves. These people are going to snitch on themselves. Okay? All of the people that have been attacking you, it's a spiritual gang attack, but they still can't defeat you. And for a very long time, you've been attacked spiritually. Spiritual gangbang on your energy, trying to stop you and prevent you from moving forward. But again, all of those battles, you became wiser, stronger, softer, versus bitter, angry, and regretful. Spirit says, make a wish. You are really manifesting. Make a wish and command the universe that it has 48 hours to make it come into fruition for you. And I'm also looking at the time for that relationship has passed. So again, it could be that person coming in with an authentic apology, but you're moving forward without them still. You know what I'm saying? Because an apology is nice, but you need to see change, action. They're gonna have to put in. You spent months and months chasing their ass. They need to spend months and months proving themselves to you. Okay? Look, I'm literally looking at the card, no longer showing the same attention. This could be them to you or you to them. And I feel like it's the latter. It's you to them. I'm trying not to look at that next card, because if I do, we're going to keep going. We're already 20 fucking minutes in. Okay, I got the things. We still need tarot, though. We're just going to get regular tarot. But also, family, you know, as I was speaking about stop making excuses for her, whether it be a mother, I listed off a lot of, family members, different family titles. And in a reading last night, with Solara Speaks, or Solara Rises, I really like a lot of her readings and declarations, decrees that she does on her website for free or for a donation. Anyway, she was saying how if you are facing a lot of spiritual warfare with the spiritual gang up by family members, then it's important to understand that sometimes we are incarnated into a bloodline that is karmic. And if that's the case, when you pray to your ancestors, you could be inviting giving low vibrational entities access to your energy. So when you are conscious of that, because remember, a lot of your ability to fight these principalities, because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities in high places. Okay, we have to be conscious of them. That's the only way that we can truly fight them. And two things that can fully eradicate that energy is love and truth, is what she said last night. Love and truth are two things that can completely it's like kryptonite to their advances. Even when it comes to like when you're walking into maybe your space, your home or energy, some people have the superstition of walking into your home backwards. That way, you know what I'm saying, if you have entities on your back trying to hide or whatever, you turn and face them and then you walk in, because they don't want to be seen. They don't want you to be able to label them and to call them out, because when you do, you won't spend time wasted being mad at yourself or mad at other people, and you can call that specific entity out and cast it out of your energy. Tell it, I do not consent to you, you know, draining my energy, whatever, however you want to word it. I wrote it down last night, but it's literally on my notebook in this phone, so I can't get to it. But let's get into the read. So we have father wounds here. So another family energy, again, also could be leaning to the fact that you were incarnated into a karmic family, just like we have karmic friends, karmic relationships. This was meant to refine you. But a lot of people may not get to the point where they're able to be refined by it because they don't do the inner work. But it's, lack of action. It may be one of the symptoms of father wounds. So you may be one that procrastinate a lot or whatever. But I feel like all of that, obviously you have overcome, and all of that is out the window because you're bossing the fuck up. I love it, baby. Okay. Spirit says you are blissed out. You're about to just start enjoying yourself, enjoying life, because now you figured it out in a way. You know what I'm saying? You figured it out. I'm looking at soulmate underneath that. Release? I don't even know where this goes in here, but I feel like you've done that release ritual. You were able to call out those entities. You know what I'm saying? You're not looking at the person, because they don't even matter no more. It doesn't matter the avatar they're using. It's the entity. And so Spirit wants you to to get more in tune with the elements. And so that's where I was going with that. When it comes to your bloodline and praying to your ancestors, you may want to make sure you specify that I want to pray to my primordial ancestors, the ancestors of the elements, fire, air, water, earth. Those are your ancestors. Okay, we come from the earth. Our flesh represents the earth. The air that in our lungs represents the air element. The water is, our bodies are made of what? Over 80% of water. It's the water within our bodies, air, water, earth, fire. The life force that's in us, that's the fire, the chi, So let's make sure that we're release ritual. So that was the card. That's where release ritual came from. I thought it was in the bottom of the deck. But wow, so that came out with father wounds. So maybe this is the ancestors, the elements, your ancestor, your fire ancestor, which could be Sekhmet energy. What's Shango, Sekhmet of the Egyptian pantheon, or the Egyptian Neteru, Shango of the Ifa, Yoruba, Orishas, and such. But that fire, fire. This is fire and air. Call on that Gemini energy, the air energy. Horus, if you will, because I'm looking at Horus. I got some little statues right here, but Horus he has the face of, I think, a falcon or some type of bird, and we know they fly, so he can represent that fire and air element. So you may want to call in Horus, and I'm feeling tingly inside, so it feels like Horus is speaking to us. And I kind of want to research, find a book that maybe speak to the energy of Horus. give us some information on Horus. He's not in. Okay. Wow. Okay. Cool. So we have the different families here. So we have the family of fire, family of wind, family of the 8 primordials here, family of earth, family of the Duat. Where's the water? Is there water? Maybe the moon would be considered water because we have family of the moon, family of the sun as well, family of heaven. So not necessarily. So Horus and Heru is the same energy. They have him listed as Heru in this book. So we're just going to 149. We'll get into that other theory later and figure out where water fits in that. That which is above, it says Heru or Horus, as I was stating, is one of the best known Egyptian gods throughout the dynasties. He was widely worshipped from the very earliest period of Egypt's history. The name Heru means that which is above, and it is in the form of a hawk-headed man, a hawk. I didn't know. I should have known, but I didn't know. I've been saying hawks are my spirit, my totem animal, and I don't know why I didn't make that connection to Horus, but divine timing is everything. Don't beat yourself up for not knowing because it wasn't meant for you to know. You know what I'm saying? You know when it's time for you to know. So what I'm not going to do is get on myself or be down on myself. I forgive you, Stephanie. I love you. You're just in the flow. And again, when it's time for you to know, you're going to know. And right now, maybe it's that time. It is in the form of a hawk-headed man wearing the red and white. You know what Shango's colors are? I'm going to pull out my Shango Ileki if I can. I'm sure you guessed it. Exactly. This is my Shango Ileki, red and white. So it's definitely in alignment. Like he's making himself known for a reason. Like he wasn't nowhere in this read. I wasn't thinking about Horus. I ain't thought about Horus in forever. He just be up here. he be in the energy, because I got his statue here, but I got this little rose that this lady gave me. I'm trying to find somewhere else to put her because it always like falls and stuff. So I got her hanging on the horns of Aset right now. I crowned her with that beautiful yellow rose. So now I'm calling in that Oshun energy. She's the energy of love, joy, happiness, which she's the energy of this blissed out. I'm looking at fill your cup. You're a queen of queens. You are taking back your power. Okay, again, you became wiser, softer, and stronger versus bitter, angry, and regretful. You feel worthy of your birthright, and that's the reason why now you're about to be magnetizing all of your heart's desires to you. Once you do this release ritual, that's going to help you to remove any blockages that cause you to have this lack of action, or again, to start healing those father wounds. Let's finish talking. Hawk-headed man wearing the red and white crowns of the South and North united. That is Netter. This Netter is usually depicted. Neteru is the group. Netter is the specific. So he's a Netter. Sekhmet is also a Netter. She's part of the Neteru, which is the group. Neteru is the group. Netter is the individual energy. He holds the Ankh of life, a bow and arrows in his right hand, and a club in his left. All the things he got in his hand and broke on my I don't even know where they are. I was supposed to glue them back together. Hopefully I still have the pieces because we just got some glue. Literally came in maybe 2 days ago. So I may be able to glue that back on. We'll see. I got you, Heru. We're going to try this again because I did try to glue it back before. Anyway, above the double crown is the eye of Heru. So this is just a picture in this book. It's not exactly what my statue looked a little similar to it, but that is the picture that is being described here. It says, the hawk was the first living creature to be worshipped throughout the double land and has the keen eyesight. He had, and as the keen-sighted ruler of the air and heights of heaven, the hawk became the sacred creature of the king of the gods, Heru, and the symbol of divine kingship on earth, the duality of the air and earth. The royal power is Heru incarnated on earth, and as the pharaoh becomes Heru, he has the right to rule as the son of Aset. I just said I placed the flower on Aset anyway. The son of Aset ruled over all Egypt. He has the right to rule as the son of Aset ruled over all Egypt. Many forms of Heru are described in Egyptian mythology, some of the most prominent being Heru the Elder, Heru Heru Buhutet, Heru Asar, Heru the son of Aset and Asar. Heru the Elder was a primordial knitter. Okay, Heru the Elder, we spoke about calling forth our primordial ancestors. Okay, which can include Heru the Elder, of course, a solar principle who by day was the face of heaven, as Set was the face of the night, which I do have Anubis here, which completely different from Set, but he is the inner. He does rule within the underworld. He is a trusted friend and advisor, but we're not talking about him right now. It says the sun was referred to as the eye of Heru, one of the eyes which the Sirius energies are transmitted. The other eye of Heru was the moon, shining with the reflected light of the sun. As the power of the heat of the sun, he was Heru Buhutet, crowned with the double-winged sun disk in Uriah, the power which fills all of heaven and the world with his brilliance and light. That's Uriah. I don't know. But it was Heru, son of Aset, who appealed most strongly in the Egyptian imagination. He was the great warrior who destroyed the enemies of Ra without mercy. And in his eternal battle with Set, the cosmic drama of light and darkness was most vividly portrayed. Heru's archetype is the victor, the winner who obtains what he is fighting for. That's what we are doing, because we became wiser, stronger, and softer versus bitter, angry, and regretful. He was born from Aset after she had revived the body, the dead body of Asar, and he grew up with one great passion to reclaim his father's heritage from the usurping Set to avenge his father's death. So remember, first thing here, father wounds. Father wounds. And here's his son, Heru, coming to avenge him. Because again, a lot of our people in our families were born into a karmic family, but again, that just means they were ruled by an entity that they had no clue that they were fighting. Christianity doesn't give you the details you need to be able to effectively fight against these principalities. It just tells you about it, but what is that going to do? I need the tools to be able to fight these things. And that's what spirituality does. It's all encompassing. It's holistic. And so they say, oh, you get passed down the sins of your father, not if you avenge him. Okay, with this hero energy. And maybe that's why he is making himself known. We need to call on this hero energy so that we can avenge, because we are the ones that are breaking the generational curses. Okay, the collective. And the chosen, those who choose the narrow path, to walk in integrity, to be honest with themselves, to do things in the right way for as to the best of our abilities. It says, when Egypt was divided into two kingdoms, Heru ruled the fertile deltas of the north, while Set ruled the arid deserts of the south. The final victory of Heru gave him kingship over the two lands, an event which has been interpreted historically as the conquest of the southern lands by a king from the north. Even as a young child, Heru was confronted by Set's enmity, Enmity, and the scorpion sent to kill him almost succeeded, but for Tahuti's intervention. I didn't even know that. Tahuti prevented Heru from being killed. Set tried to kill Heru when he was a child, and that may be, again, you may have had those same issues. You wouldn't know that, right? Now you're feeling worthy of your birthright. You wouldn't know that about your birth. That energies was trying to kill you, as a child. But you've been, maybe dealing with a lot of hardships since a child. You can feel that entity's been trying to stop you, since childhood. A lot of us know that because we feel that okay, sorry y'all. I got a lot of stuff going on. I think I may have clipped this in a way too. Yeah, there we go. And remember, the Egyptian, I'm not going to call it theology, but the Egyptian stories or whatever way of spirituality, I don't even want to call it tradition or culture. This is just the universe flow. Anyway, it existed tens of thousands, if not more than that, years before any fucking religion. Okay? So, it's just letting you know that religions, they take truths from different places and put it into one and then claim it as something new. That's my view of a lot of religions. But again, they take truths and then add their own little man-made shit because they need their lies to be mixed with some truth in order to control the people, to keep them in fear. You know what I'm saying? So they pick what truths they want, but also add their own bullshit to keep people confused. And then when you're confused, then of course you're going to fear trying to be decisive about something because you don't have all the information, you're confused. And so that just keeps you in a constant state of being unbalanced, It says he grew up to be a formidable warrior, trained by his father and armed with an iron spear and chains with which he killed and bound his enemies. In this form, he was called Heru, the avenger of his father. Heru, the avenger of his father. Ashe, 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 Ashe. Oh, okay. Shakti. Ashe is, Yoruba way of saying like amen, hallelujah. Shakti Sekam is the Egyptian way of saying like hi, amen, hallelujah. And then Amun is where amen come from. So I'm gonna say Shakti and Sekam because Amun is a whole entity and energy of his own. Okay, so Shakti. Shakti means words of power. These are words of power, of empowering. Sekam. Okay, that's that hallelujah. But long story short, we'll get into the rest of that before the divinatory meaning of Heru is victory, the winner, triumph over adversity. There was a lot more to read, and I was going to read it, but baby, we're 41 minutes in, and we ain't even got to the next 2 cards. So we may not be doing all the extra stuff. We're going to do some tea light, though. Look. Didn't I say we're not fighting with flesh and blood, but principalities in high places? This is everything we've been talking about. Is clarified by explore. Everything we've been talking about, and you need to explore these dark attachments so you can call them out. And basically in the reading last night, she was saying you need to, so this goes against everything that I was saying in that other meditation, but again, it's a living word, so it's going to continue to evolve, and we need to be able to evolve with it, not be stuck. We need to be detached. We need to be able to have detached clarity that is untainted by emotionalism. We can't get a way of thinking in our mind and just get so gung-ho about it like people in religion do, that we can't see truth. We need to always be able to have an open mind so that we can shift and adapt with the changing times. And then just, who knows, we need to just explore, try different ways, try the way of not labeling it. Maybe sometimes that's the best way to handle it. But then there's another time where you may, especially when it's deep-seated, when you may be getting tarot readings and there's a lot of major arcana, you may need to do deeper work to realize, to recognize the pattern of this dark entity, to call it out. You know what I'm saying? If it's anger, identify the emotion, right? And then if you're angry, know that the underliers of anger, or the underlying causes of anger, is guilt, shame, and fear. So if you're angry, you need to figure out, what you're angry about. Is it something that you feel guilty about? Is it something you feel ashamed about? Or is it something that you fear? Call it out and say, I don't consent to you running my life, or whatever. But you need to explore it, figure out the pattern, and call it out and rebuke it. You know what I'm saying? Take your power back. If it's just simply you saying, I rebuke you, get thee behind, I cast you back into the lake of fire where you belong. Not get thee behind me, Satan. We don't want that nigga nowhere near us. I was literally just talking about when you walk in, to turn around and face it so it doesn't come in. You're inviting him to stay behind you and be that monkey on your back. And I was literally thinking that when I was shaking this behind my back, I was like, I need to get that monkey off my back. That's what I was thinking in my head. I don't know if I said it out loud, but get Satan off your back. We don't know, not to get thee behind me. No, I rebuke you and I cast you back into the lake of fire where you belong. I do not give you permission to be in my force field, in the grid of my energy. These are new words I learned from her last night. She's talking about the grids and the fields. You can't be in my field of energy, my aura, all of the things. I'm exploring, I'm staying open to different ways of saying things or different terminology in the energy of flow. And I just saw this card, and I knew this was the energy of flow. And that's basically what I was just saying, okay? And then it's clarifying this card. It says, want success? Carry yourself as someone already thriving. If you want success, you need to carry yourself as someone that is already thriving. Okay? And someone that is already thriving isn't bitter, angry, or regretful. Okay? Now you feel that you're worthy of your birthright. You may not have your birthright, but you need to carry yourself as someone already thriving. And you can do that now because you feel worthy of your birthright. You know it's something you deserve, so you are calling it in. You have mastered this detached clarity energy, or you're working to master that detached clarity energy that is untainted by emotionalism, and you are able to do what needs to be done. Okay? So we have this card filling out. So we have empty chair to clarify father wounds. So you may not have had a father, a present father, or you may have had a father that was emotionally unavailable. But this card literally says someone is leaving your life. Okay, so and this is coming out with the release ritual with the father issues. Okay, so as you do this release rituals, anyone that may be carrying that generational curse, the way it may be manifesting through different avatars, all of that is being eradicated by truth and love, mainly self-love. And remember in the reading last night that I posted, it had chair filled. So someone is coming in to fill that chair. And that's on period. So we have woman here, dealings or relationship with a woman. This could also, there may be a feminine energy that's embodying this masculine energy. And that those father wounds may be manifesting in the avatar of a woman. But again, with this release ritual, we're calling out the entity, not the person. So again, it could be a masculine entity or whatever that's using a feminine energy to manifest itself. And then we have dogs. It says getting together with friends. And so that's where Anubis come in, because he's the netter that has a jackal head, so like the head of a dog. And what I say about Anubis, he's a trusted friend and advisor through the in the underworld, right? So again, your father may have passed on. You may have a father that isn't present, but nonetheless, getting together with friends could be, these primordial friends like Hero, Shango, Oshun, Anubis, Aset. They may be talking about your divine friends. Who knows? I kind of want to read a little bit on Anubis, since we've already kind of tapped into the energy of the Nibiru. Okay, Anubis is part of the family of I think he may go by Anpu in this book. I'm not 100% sure because I'm not seeing Anubis here. They have different names. Okay. Yeah, he may be Anpu. Let's look up Anpu and see what what picture. It's 6. Well, the page is 204, which adds up to 6. So it's giving that, 6 is the energy of healing. 104. And that's him. That is him. His divinatory meaning is a spiritual and magical guide into occult mysteries. Okay, into the hidden mysteries, a trusted friend and advisor. The opener of ways from ANP and to wrap around. The jackal-headed god Anpu is a powerful Duat knitter. His worship goes back to the very ancient times, and he was revered throughout Egyptian as a friend and helper of the dead. Okay, so this, if your father is passed on or whatever, or anyone in your family that's passed on, and they may be calling out through, my father is passed, so for me, I'm gonna take it personal as my father is calling out, telling me, utilize Anpu. Let's and Heru to avenge our, the father's legacy, to clear out that generational curse. We're calling on Heru to clear out that generational curse, so that we can and once we do, that lack of action that has been keeping us stagnant and not feeling worthy of our birthright, that has maybe been keeping us distracted with bitterness, anger, and regret, we can fight against that. You know what I'm saying? With this empty chair, we can have that leaving. That part of us is leaving our life. You know what I'm saying? We're eradicating those energies, those entities. Anpu was the child of Asar, a god with whom he was closely associated, and he was conceived through Asar's liaison with the goddess Nephit. So Asar and Heru are brothers. Essentially, they're stepbrothers. As Asar slept with Aset's sister, Nephit. Nephit she's more of the goddess of sadness, of weeping, of anger. Now we got to kind of look into her energy. Maybe. Let's see. It said, wow. Anpu was abandoned by her. And again, if we were born into a karmic family, we have definitely, if you're born into a karmic family, you've definitely experienced a lot of feelings of abandonment from family members. So I'm getting emotional. Not because I'm realizing how much I really do need to invoke the energy of Anubis more as a spiritual guide and trusted friend and advisor, because he really relates to what I've been through. Heru is kind of like the chosen child or whatever, but they're both important. Anubis rules in the underworld. Heru rules in the air and earth type energy. Abandoned by her, he was brought up by Aset. Anubis was brought up by Heru's mother. She adopted him in a way, and was always seen to be her faithful companion. As we have already noted, Nephit is the alchemical principle of decomposition and decay. So Nephit, Anubis, or Anpu's mother, she's an alchemist. She is the alchemical principle of decomposition and decay. I'm now realizing how much I still, Nephit energy. I usually shunned her energy, but as you can see, I've had this book a very long time. It's been through some stuff. So of course, in my infant states, of spirituality with an infant mind, we run away from the dark, run away from the shadow. But eventually we figure out that we have to do the shadow work. And Anubis, Nephthit, all of those energies are perfect energies to utilize and evoke when using, or when you're doing your shadow work, because it's all about alchemy. I kind of want to read more about her, but maybe another day. It says, and Anpu, through his association, appeared as a dark god, intimately concerned with the embalming of the bodies of the dead. So he helps to preserve the dead. As he embalmed his father Asar to prevent the influences of time and decay. So Anpu watched over the embalming of humans, and he is often shown standing beside the funeral bier, B-I-E-R, where the mummy is laid. As dweller in the chamber of embalmment, he is a preserver of life and protector against the devouring goddess amidst, so the dead may be reborn as Asar was into a new life. So he helps, with reincarnating, but cleansing the body, preserving it so that it can reincarnate, or just preserving it so that it can reincarnate, to give it a chance to cleanse what happened in a previous lifetime, instead of that energy or entity being doomed to eternity in the underworld, or being devoured by a myth. He is always shown in the judgment scene in the hall of Ma'at, checking the balance and scales, because Ma'at is the scales, weighs whether your heart is light as a feather. And that, basically, did you do things, or did you walk in integrity? It may not be more moralistic in the eyes of other humans, but they're going to weigh your heart, because it's just like Peter Pan. He stole to give to the rich, versus other people steal to feed their greed. There's a difference. But again, we'll go back to his divinatory meaning. He's a spiritual and magical guide into occult mysteries, a friend and trusted advisor. So again, tingling feelings again, spiritual guide and a friend, trusted advisor. We're hitting an hour, and we hadn't even tapped into the tarot yet, and so we may not do the tarot. But first card to clarify dark attachments and explore, we have the Hermit card. This has come out a few times already. It says taking a vacation physically or mentally. And this, even as you can look at this card, is like this is a window of an airplane. It's like someone looking out. Okay, so there may be some dark attachments with certain people around you, and spirit wants you to just be in the energy of flow, because your spirit team is handling that. As we're talking and connecting with these primordial energies of Anpu, Anubis, Heru, Aset, Nephthit, Sekhmet, Baset, Oshun, Shango, as we're connecting and speaking of these energies, that's helping to help call them forth and command them. So again, just like the card says, make a wish and command that the universe brings it to fruition, and give it 48 hours. So maybe you need to take a 2-day vacation, staycation somewhere, you know what I'm saying, and just go relax in somebody's pool. You know what I'm saying? Know that you're worthy of your birthright. Peace, love, and abundance, and prosperity. We're wise, softer, and stronger. So go take a little vacation. You ain't gotta been fighting these dark attachments for long enough. Look at this. It says time to get out of a situation. So you may, again, either, it says take a vacation, either, physically or mentally. Meditate. Go sit by water. If you can't, go to somebody's beach. Because know that you are highly thought of by your ancestors, your spirit guides, all of the things. You are highly thought of. That's why you need to go ahead and carry yourself as someone that is already thriving. That's why you need to know that you are worthy of your birthright. You are embodying the worthiness of your birthright. All right, to clarify, want success, carry yourself as someone already thriving. Eagle. I don't even know what the meaning on it is, but it's already given. Flying above the drama, okay? Triumph over troubles and anxiety. Spirit says you've already won. Just relax and enjoy. You've already won. One of the readings we had not too long ago, the title was, "We Did It, Joe." It says we've won. You did it, Joe. And we won not with revenge, not with trying to explain ourselves to people, but just simply evolving, just simply elevating, by simply raising our frequency. Triumph over troubles and obstacles. Next card, we have bird, flying, okay? So that gives us that Heru energy. It says news is on the way. Okay, so this could be opportunities, as in now that you've triumphed over your troubles and obstacles, all of those blockages to your finances, your love life, your confidence, all of the things, all of that being defeated, because Heru, his divinatory meaning was what? First word, victory. Okay, and then so this is here with the eagle card. So his family, the eagle is part of his family. Okay, says news is on the way, and then we have the moon card here, which we said one eye. The sun is the eye, one eye of Heru, and the moon is the other eye of Heru. And here you go with his eye speaking to us with the moon. It says changes in your life. Okay, so let's get to wrapping this up. We got to pull a little tarot. I feel like it's definitely necessary. So we got the Six of Swords in reverse with, and the Knight of Wands in reverse, and then the Nine of Cups in reverse. There's definitely someone leaving your life. There's someone that is, but they're fighting to stay in your life though. But the Six of Swords is about stagnation, fear of change, resisting transition, holding on to the past, feeling lost. Again, this could be your energy as well. And that's the reason why you need to do the release ritual. We have the Knight of Wands. This person that is refusing to walk out of your life could have been someone that was just sexually motivated, mainly. But again, you need to call out the entity and do a release ritual on that entity. Maybe that'll help to free that person from that mentality, to help them to heal. But nevertheless, we need to call it out in our lives and saying, you don't have access to me to be able to continue to be reckless with my energy, to drain me. This is the energy of lack of action, which is literally the exact words that is here on this Father Wounds card. Father Wounds, wand energy. Wand can usually represents a phallus. Of course, men have that. Lack of passion. This could be energy that maybe your own father embodied. Maybe he was a philanderer, a womanizer, had a lack of action, was maybe impulsive in ways that resulted in a lot of arguments in the home, or abuse, or anything like that. Recklessness, taking unnecessary risks. And we also have the Nine of Wands in reverse: greed, materialism, unfulfilled desires. And that may be why there's a lot of, your father may have had a lot of frustration, because there was a lot of unfulfilled desires. But again, with getting together with friends, Anubis, Heru, Aset, Neptet, that they can help us to do the shadow work, to help us to avenge our father. Calling Heru, Horus energy, to help do a release ritual to help avenge our fathers, right? Because the father energy may suffered from greed as well. That's why you have to have multiple women around them all the time. Look, we have the Death card in reverse on top of the Six of Wands in reverse, which is, the Six of Wands is about moving on to calmer waters, but this entity has this energy stagnant. Remember, the Six of Swords here, first card on here, is stagnation, fear of change. Again, this entity could be have a hold of a feminine energy when it's, because it has dealings or relationship with a woman. So that, even your mother may be experiencing this entity, a sibling, a cousin, an aunt, or an uncle. They may be dealing with this entity that's been attacking you since birth. And this entity is really trying to hold on strong to you. And it is manifesting in so many different avatars. But remember, just keep exploring and keep being in the energy of flow. It's nothing that you have to worry about, because your spirit team got you. Your spirit team got you, and that's on period. And look, this is the Knight of Cups. I feel like we saw the card where an apology is coming in, but we're still moving forward. But you're moving forward without them still, because they got to put in the work. We all know that apologies don't solve anything. It's a cute little band-aid that people can be like, well, I apologize to them, and they still keep me at a distance. Yeah, because you ain't proved yourself. And so they may be talking to people, making you try to, talking shit on you and saying that you really the problem. But nah, you think I'm stupid? I done fell for the apology plenty of times. Banana in the tailpipe type of shit. And a period with the Two of Swords in the upright. I'm not ignoring what's right in front of me no more. Like, no. I'm blocking my heart. You got to put in the time and the work. Because I put in the time and the work trying to, I've been the one where I was like, or we've been the ones that when we've been wrong, we will go in and be the one to try to squash it and be the people pleaser and forgive them and all of that. Like, no. And now these people are mad because you're not performing an old role. They're, what was the card? Ascension Tension. Was it? No, that's not a number 11. I forget. I wonder if there's a table of contents here, because I don't remember the number for Ascension Tension. But that's the card that spoke about. I know what the picture, there you go. I see the picture. I know what the picture looked like. Backlash is the word I was looking for. You're getting backlash for no longer performing old roles, and it's making you question if you're on the right path. Last night we got the card in the tea leaf that you are on the right path. And this one says here, you are. When you look back at what you've left at the bottom of the climb of your life, you risk falling. So this is, again, someone may apologize, but you're still moving forward without them. Because if you go back trying to pick them up, you risk falling. And that's exactly what the King of Wands energy is about. Not looking back, protecting your peace, you're protecting your birthright at all costs. Now that you are aware of your value, your security is on fleek. Your security detail has been refined, okay? And you're not falling for the banana with the tailpipe again. So, but back to this death card and this Knight of Cups in reverse. Again, resistance to change. It's clarifying the Six of Swords and the Knight of Wands. But it's the same energy, resistance to change. The Six of Swords says fear of change, resisting transition, fear of the unknown, stagnation. So stagnation is on both of these cards as well with this Knight of Wands. This energy that is impulsive and reckless. They're not changing their ways. So what the fuck does this apology mean? It means nothing. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to change their ways, but they want to apologize. The first word on this is emotional manipulation. That's all it is. It's emotional manipulation. And now that they're with this is clarifying the Knight of Wands and the Nine of Cups. They're apologizing, but they're going to have unfulfilled desires because they think that's just going to make everything right. No, it's not. You need to put in the work. Because I need to know if you really mean it. We got the King of Pentacles in reverse. You could be dealing with an earth sign, Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. Because we have greed coming out here. So that will put greed out here twice. Materialism out here twice with the Nine of Cups, because it has greed and materialism on there. Arrogance, financial instability, overindulgence. So again, that's recklessness. So yeah, Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. But the only card in the upright is this motherfucking Two of Swords, and for me that means you're no longer ignoring what's in front of you. You're calling it the fuck out, like we've been saying with these dark attachments. We're calling out these dark attachments and saying you don't have access. You have been removed from the chair. Okay? You have been removed from the throne, from the count. This person may have held a part of your round table council of your higher self, you know, and they have been removed. All right, so let's get tarot on the dark attachments energy here. Okay, these cards just flipped over. The Five of Pentacles. Again, we spoke about that Anubis energy and Pooh energy and how we faced abandonment. We faced the energy of being left out in the cold. The story of Heru let us know that we too may have been the victim of someone trying to take us out from as a child. You know what I'm saying? Hell, who knows? You may have been an unwanted pregnancy, and maybe the mother or father may have done things to try to abort the pregnancy. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? May have done things hoping that they would lose the baby, lose you or whatever, but you pulled through. No matter what the fuck, you are here now, so you pulled through. So that's, I guess we're going to take these because that, again, we're clarifying dark attachments. That entity that's been jumping on multiple avatars trying to get to you, they have put that abandonment energy in all of them to make you feel abandoned because they know what is needed to trigger you, to distract you, and to get you out of alignment with your life purpose and soul mission. Okay? Again, period. Eight of Pentacles, to distract you from the work that you need to do. To distract you from exploring different ways, because as you explore different ways of handling things, you are able to find the tools and the weapons needed in order to win this spiritual warfare. Remember, Heru was victorious, victory. And remember, it says taking a vacation, time to get out of a situation, and you are highly thought of. Or the 3 tea leaf cards that is clarifying this dark attachment energy. Here another card in reverse. It's the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands is the energy of standing your ground. Again, this abandonment energy is what was used to weaken you, to make you give up, surrender, to feel overwhelmed, to feel defeated, lack of courage. Of course, that's going to keep you from doing your work. Of course, that's going to have you procrastinate. That's what the 8 of Wands card is talking about. In reverse, the 8 of Wands in reverse. Lack of focus, procrastination, mediocrity, inability to learn, shoddy work. It doesn't allow you to work at your highest capabilities, to be able to use all your spiritual gifts into what you're doing to help heal humanity. And there's that King of Pentacles coming out again in reverse. So again, could be dealing with a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, someone that is greed. And this person used this abandonment energy to put you in a lower vibration in order for them to be able to drain your energy, because they use your energy to manifest what they want in their life. Greed, materialism. Those are the dark attachments. But look at here. 3 of Wands in the upright. Your ships are coming in, though. Now that you are taking back your power, now that you have gained the weapons to be able to fight against what is coming against you. Again, the weapons are formed against you, but we all know that they will not prosper. With these dark attachments will not prosper. So the 3 of Wands is out here, and it's the energy of progress, expansion, growth, foresight, and partnerships. Okay. We got the Fool card in reverse. Here we go again with reckless energy, foolishness, carelessness, and naivety. You know, you're dealing with people that are emotionally and spiritually naive. And so again, we're calling out the entity, not the person. We are now calling out the entity and not the person. We're not blaming the person. It doesn't even matter who it is. Now that we're able to focus, now we're attacking this from a more effective perspective. We see it. Now we have this, we are able to embody this detached clarity that is untainted by emotionalism, because we're taking the people out of it and we're addressing the entity. Period. It's already unfolding. They're weakening. They are unfolding. That entity is unfolding because we see it. Okay, let's get tarot on want success. Carry yourself as already thriving, already having your birthright. We got the 4 of Swords in the upright. Clarifying this flow energy. It says rest, solitude, rejuvenation, introspection, meditation. Exactly. With the 7 of Cups in reverse, we are removing that confusion and indecision and lack of focus with rest, solitude, meditation, rejuvenation, all of the things. We got the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. That is, again, combating those people that suffer from greed. Again, that suffer from the dark attachment of greed, selfishness, stinginess, exploitation. These people that exploited you, and that are ungrateful, that can't see your beauty. All of that is being eradicated, because again, this is clarifying the energy with the eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles, news on the way, and changes in your life. So just being an energy of flow, rest, solitude, rejuvenation, introspection. Take that vacation. you know, with the hammock card, taking a vacation, either physically or mentally or both. You can take a physical vacation and mentally unwind, because what? Ace of Swords in the upright. Victory. This is a card of victory. It's in the upright. You are victorious over confusion. Okay? Perfect card, a sword card. Swords are about intellect, wisdom, experience. You are victorious over it because of the experience you've had. You're able to call out that dark attachment of abandonment. Because just like in the reading last night, she was like, you do X, Y, Z, which makes me react and do X, Y, Z, and puts me in the energy to where I can't do X, Y, Z. But you're combating that with intellect, with wisdom, with integrity. Okay? It says clarity, new ideas. That's why you had to explore. The sword is air energy. Got this person on a plane. Right? We spoke about having that detached and undetached clarity that is untainted by emotionalism. That is this Ace of Swords energy as well. You know, it combats, this is coming out over the Seven of Cups, which talks about lack of focus and indecision, of course, confusion. It's bringing in the clarity so that we can make the decisions. Like I said before, we weren't able to do the things because we didn't have all of the information we needed to make the right decision. So of course we're going to be in fear of making certain decisions, of perhaps walking away or whatever, but now we're victorious over those obstacles. Mental power with the Ace of Swords. Truth. Didn't I say there's two things that can eradicate these dark entities? That's love and truth. Truth, and then we have breakthrough. So our ancestors, spirit guides, and divine forces are bringing in the breakthrough to help us to overcome these people that try to exploit us, these greedy people, selfish, stingy, ungrateful people. Upright, King of Swords. Okay, this is a wise person. Upright energy is our energy. You know, leadership, authority, logic, objectivity, fairness, wisdom, employing that wisdom. The quote on here says, be wise and just leader with the ability to make fair and impartial, that detached clarity, and impartial decisions for the good of all. And that has been your purpose. And that's the reason why we're not looking at the person anymore, the avatar, but we are addressing the attachment, that dark attachment that is using them. Because they're stuck in religion and don't want to, they can't see past that brainwashing. And so we got to hold space for them. And hopefully one day, we just got to lead by example. And sometimes that example may be walking away. And again, like I said, the person may come in with an apology, but they still got to face their karma, and you can't get in the way of that. Okay? But you're very wise. You're an old soul. And you embody this King of Swords energy, because the King of Swords can represent an elder. And remember, we had Heru, the elder energy, come out. That's the primordial energy of Heru, Horus. But yeah, we have triumphed over troubles of dealing with people who like to emotionally manipulate you. The King of Cups in reverse. And like I said, these are principalities in high places. This is king energy in reverse. This is master. These people have mastered the energy of emotional manipulation, moodiness, and emotional detachment. They understand it fully. Like I said, we all have been victims of dark attachments. Some fight against it. Some enjoy playing with these dark attachments. You know what I'm saying? But that's the reason why we're in this Four of Cups energy. You know, we are seeing it for what it is. It says introspection, contemplation, dissatisfaction, and apathy. All right. The question is it time to consider new possibilities? And that's exactly what we're doing. Spirit is letting us know, again, this is coming out, bottom of the deck, to clarify this flow energy. Because this is Spirit trying to give us a new cup, but we're too focused on the abandonment, all these dark attachments. That's why we had first card out. One of the first clarifiers is release ritual. We need to do the release ritual to let go of these cups so that we can truly receive our birthright, truly receive the guidance that Anpu and Heru, like y'all saw in this reading, how it's like, oh, I need to be more in tune with Anpu. He knows exactly what I'm going through. As I learned and got more information about him, I started to connect with him more. But I couldn't do that before. I was too focused on these cups. We're continuously growing. Life is a lifelong learning process. That's why we got to always stay in tune with our inner child and not think that we just know everything. Shapeshift. We need to learn to be able to shapeshift into whatever is needed to balance the scales. We tap into that. We may need to tap into the inner child and playfulness of the inner child to balance the scale of maybe being so serious. We need to tap into that, and that happens in every area of our life. But you're definitely dealing with the Queen of underneath this Four of Cups. I do see the Queen of Wands in reverse. So there's definitely a feminine energy here that's insecure. You know, they lack creativity, lack leadership, passion, and maybe cold. And there's, you know, a feminine energy that may be jealous of you because now if you're feeling worthy of your birthright, of course you're gonna trigger someone that is insecure within themselves. It says, remember, we have you want success, then carry yourself as someone already thriving. This Queen of Wands in reverse can't carry themselves as someone already thriving because they lack passion. The Queen of Wands in the upright is a warrior. Queen in reverse, they don't have the passion, a motivation to fight for themselves, to fight against this dark attachment. But you say, I don't want to be bitter, angry, and regretful. Remember, first card, you became wiser, stronger, and softer. Not hard and bitter. This is a person, a woman that has become hard and bitter. And I feel like you really wanted to help her out and show her love with this being cup energy. You know, you gave them cups full of love, but they just gave you cups full of sewage water. Look what I cut to. The energy of my odd balance. I was just talking about the scales, and there's a scale here and the sword of truth. Fairness, justice, truth, and balance. And the question on here, how can you balance the scales of justice in your life? And maybe that could be tapping into more of that carefree, childlike energy, which is definitely what you're going to need to be able to explore. You need to explore, you know what I'm saying? Like you did as a child when you just went outside to play or ride your bike. You explored. You were just flowing. Because I know you can think back and be like, I don't even know how I survived a lot of the stuff that I did as a child. You know what I'm saying? Because we were very courageous. We didn't have no filters of danger. We just played. And we were taken care of. And so Spirit wants you to tap back into that energy. We may have become too serious, again, with that 4 of Cups energy. Where you've become too serious, too, keen in on things that is not in alignment, which is making you have a lack of focus of what you need to really focus on and to work on. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. And so we're bossing up. We're bossing up by tapping into our inner child. Because look at this, blissed out. That gives that childlike energy. Blissed out. I kind of want to read blissed out. So I'm gonna read blissed out, and we're gonna go ahead and shut this down, because now we're at an hour and a half. What's the number for blissed out? Number 19 reduces to a number 10, which reduces to 1. New beginnings. 19 though. Fresh start. 19. So the element for blissed out is fire and earth. It says fulfillment, happiness, euphoria. Take time to show gratitude for all the good. That's that Oshun energy. This card means play. What I say about the inner child and us being outside playing. This card means play. This card means success. Remember, you want success? Carry yourself as someone already thriving. This card means joy. Okay, it says, play, success, and joy define this time or event in your life. Chase experiences that feel electric, that brings you life. You may find yourself in awe of what is possible. As children, that's what we did. We chased experiences that felt electric. Riding our bikes to a tunnel that's dark, and as we rode our bikes to go in this tunnel, we found sticks and wrapped it with little clothes that was just on the ground, and we lit them up, and those were our torches as we traveled into this tunnel. Like, my little scary ass, I was like, no, I ain't doing that. I'm gonna go. Y'all can get going. I would start the journey into the darkness, but I ain't go all the way through. Like some of the people that I went on these little excursions as a child, as kids with, they followed that tunnel all the way through to where they would go up, and they was at the YMCA. You know what I'm saying? They found I was like, because there was also I guess an urban legend, you can call it, of a man named Cornbread that haunted those tunnels. And I was like, I was scared of cornbread. I wasn't trying to do none of the things. I was like, I'll meet y'all when y'all come out. I'm gonna ride my bike over there, and then when y'all come up through the little sewer, the little circle thing or whatever it is, I'll see y'all there. Or either I'm gonna take my ass home, but I'm not gonna do all this. But again, as children, we chased experiences that felt electric. We would play in mud. Even though we got dirty, it felt electric to make a mud pie and get the little berries off the trees and act like that's like strawberries or something. Like, we just did what felt electric, okay? It says you may find yourself in awe of what is possible as life's greatest gifts are illuminated. And like we said, there was a divine protection around us when we were in that play energy, when we were in that flow energy. There was divine protection there. And so that may be what we need to be able to triumph over obstacles and troubles. So like I said, know that news is on its way, and that news may bring play, success, and joy. The provisions to be able to do those things, and also changes in your life. You've got to be bossed up and blissed out. Okay. Maybe going, like, she's at a concert, having the time of her life. Maybe going to concerts and all of the things. And yeah, These people that's trying to manipulate you emotionally and being that's been giving you breadcrumbs, being cold, emotionally cold to you. Again, know that they're under judgment. Here you go. They again with fear of change. These are people that embody that energy of fear of change. And look at this, and what's in the upright, the Eight of Cups, and you're walking away from that energy. You're walking away from these people, again, that try to manipulate you emotionally. Remember, with this Two of Swords in the upright, we're no longer ignoring what's right in front of us and making excuses for it. Because remember, we saw that card too. Stop making excuses for her. You know what I'm saying? So we're no longer being naive with the Fool card in reverse. We're seeing what's right in front of us, and what's right in front of us. Are people that are emotionally detached. They may be moody. They're not grounded. We got to see it for what it is and walk away. And remember, these people are under judgment. Remember, karma is not punishment, but it's just a rebalancing happening. And we got to allow these people to go through their karma so that they can be rebalanced, and stop being thieves, embodying deception, strategizing against you, being sneaky and cunning, thieving, stealing from you. The question on this card, it says, what situations or people in my life require me to be cunning and strategic while also remaining vigilant against deceit? Like, you ain't got time to be dealing with people that pull out low vibrational energy. You know what I'm saying? You want people that bring out, the Seven of Swords in reverse energy, which is the energy of honesty, facing consequences, which taking accountability, playing fair, coming clean, releasing guilt. We don't need people that brings out Seven in the upright energy. These are people that bring out you having to be strategic and cunning, deceptive. Deceptive. But again, that's the scale. Sometimes we got to tap into that energy when we're forced to. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's coming after the Eight of Cups, which is the energy of walking away. We're walking away from these people that invoke that. We're walking away from it because they need to, for one, face their judgment and karma. And we're stepping into, look at this, that inner child energy. In the upright, we're stepping into the inner child energy. Curiosity, we're allowing it to explore. As you see, both of these cards have the sky in the background, that air element. And remember, we're the King of Swords in the upright as well. Leadership, authority, logic, objectivity, and fairness. Again, here we go with fairness coming out again, which was discussed within this Seven of Swords energy. In the upright, though, facing, being honesty, playing fair. We want energies that bring out that type of energy within us, and not that higher vibrational. And we're walking away from those type of people. And we're, again, indulging in play, that playful energy, this page energy, exploring. It says curiosity, intellectual pursuit, communication, exploration, literally. I just picked up the Explore card. And confidence. You can confidently explore, is what your spirit guides is telling you. Now that you are aware of the dark attachments, you can take a vacation mentally now. That's not something that you have to worry about anymore. You can really be in that energy of flow because you understand it. The King of Swords, you are a leadership and an authority in this situation. Remember, the King of Swords did come out with the Ace of Swords, so you have the clarity that is needed, the mental power and breakthrough. You have the truth that you need in order to be the leader and to be an authority, and to fight against the emotional manipulation that people try to come in. Again, King of Swords King of Cups in reverse. That's the emotions. But we are calling forth this King of Swords energy, a detached clarity that is untainted by emotionalism. That's exactly what these 3 cards represent. From the beginning to the end, it's tying all together. Detached clarity that is untainted by emotionalism. That's what this is. Detached clarity, untainted by emotionalism. I'm done, y'all. Let's go ahead and end it. I love you all. I hope that helped in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And until next time, peace.